Welcome, 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 welcome. Prosperous Living, producing results with velocity. Yes, this is the Prosperous Divas seminar, and this series is Prosperous Living, producing results with velocity. This is actually session number 3, creating integrity as workability, telling the truth. Ho, ho, ho. Creating integrity as workability, telling the truth. I'm going to tell you. Now, look, I don't know what the Divas have in store for us. I really don't. I can honestly tell the truth. I don't know what they have in store for us. Now, I do know the workflow of the webinar. Now, I do, but I don't know what they got in store. See, we got the workflow, and then we got with the Divas. So that's how it goes. But before we start, we have a little something to get everybody into a prosperous mood, a nice space. So please sit back and enjoy, and we will continue.
Speak to me, tell me what you have in mind. I'm listening. Your melody, my soul, have no boundaries. No, you stimulate me, bring me peace, tranquility. When I close my eyes, I close. My fingertips are all I need to show you what I see when my eyes are closed. And nothing feels more naturally than to lose control when my eyes close. Get close, get close, get close, get close, get close, get close. I feel you the most. Can't help it, get close. Take me on a journey, quaint fantasy. I'm so secure, I'm yours to lead. Free me, yeah. Oh, yeah. My fingertips are all I need to show you what I see when my eyes are closed. And nothing feels more naturally than to lose control when my eyes close.
Once again, a beautiful piece by Nick West. Tonight's workshop, Creating Integrity as Workability, Telling the Truth. From vague to specific, supercharging results, and the Divine Mind Prosperity Blaster. All right, let's kick the seminar out. Producing Results with Velocity, session number 3, Diva Nikki.
Creating integrity as workability. Thank you for joining us tonight for session number 3 of Prosperous Living, producing results with velocity. I am Diva Nikki, and I am joined by Ronnie B. and Diva Nikia. We are your course leaders for this 6-part series. If this is your first time participating in a Prosperous Divas webinar or workshop, we are glad you're here, and we promise if you do the assignment, you will see practical, pragmatic, and tangible results that exceed your expectations. And if you're a previous participant, thank you for continuing to participate and join us. You're going to really, really enjoy this course. Prosperous Living. Producing results with velocity is specifically designed for each participant to have a measurable and quantifiable breakthrough in their prosperity by producing specific, measurable results from inquiring into these basics. The distinctions of velocity, results, boldness, and integrity form the heart or center of power and manifesting our deepest and most important desires. Please share our webinars, seminars, workshops, and our deeper thoughts with people who desire to grow using the power of prosperous, pragmatic thinking. Now, before we start our inquiry, let's hear from the team and see what has opened for them since the last session or results that were surprisingly produced with velocity. All right, team, Ronnie B.
Let's see. And, last week was just so, I was just really, really blown away by your sharing about dealing with the machine at the health club, and just how and it's great with the subject we're going to get into tonight, how that impacted your your overall power when it came to you having the healthy body and lifestyle you desire. This has the audacity to to try to hone in on your power.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
The nerve, And Nakia sharing with the results with the Facebook, and grappling and being present to her reach.
Yes.
Yeah, and but that we'll talk about that a little bit further. But I just to kind of the share, I think something that was just really, really amazing. The family reunion on my father's side was this weekend here in Houston, Texas, and last night I went to the banquet, and I think the most amazing thing for me was that there was no thing between me and anyone. There was no thing. Now, note I didn't say nothing. I deliberately said no thing between us. And what it came from was, our conversations about the occurring world and the listening that's already there. And in the past, the listening that would have been already there would have been my cousin Joe is the way my cousin Joe is. My cousin Al's the way my cousin Al is. My Aunt Rosetta is the way my Aunt Rosetta is. My sister is the way my sister is. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody is in these boxes as far as my listening. And they're in boxes that were when we were kids, teenagers, or whatever incident or slight or memory. But not in reality. Because all of that is what? The past, which is not here. So I didn't have a clue who I got when I walked in the door. I didn't have a clue who was there. I knew their name. I mean, I knew some people's names I had forgot. But, names, who you so-and-so's brother, forgive me, blah, 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 mom, dad, I know who mom and dad were. So I don't know who these people are.
Wow.
I just know the bodysuit and how it was. Maybe when I talked to my mother. Now, last week when I talked to my mother, she was blah, blah, blah. But this ain't last week. This is this week. And so that had me be present to everyone in the now. And I could just get that, quote, issues that or whatever others may have had, I had no thing. And that no thing dissolved all of that. That no thing. Because when they got present to know, guess what? There was no thing for them. So, that was I'll say it was a surprising result. Okay, it was definitely a surprising result and a powerful one. Because what it opened up for me is that relationships are about what you're creating now. And there's nothing wrong if you're not creating, something for this specific relationship. That it'd just be it'd be in the context of who you are. For who I am, I make a difference for people. I make a difference for people, and I work to bring a smile and joy wherever I go. I really do. I do. I mean, I do other things, technical, produce, but for who I am, I like to go to places to bring a smile and some joy to people and make a difference. That's what I like to do. Well, I like to do that for my family, but I can't make them my project. Can't make them my project. I can't fix their issues, and they don't want me to. You ever try to fix somebody's issue? You notice how in the end you end up looking like the bad guy.
Yes.
And it's like, man, wait just a minute. But that because you didn't get the degree that they were holding on to that issue. You were not that issue's friend. And how dare you?
Yes.
How dare you? Like, I can't handle my own issues. It's a double-edged sword. But I learned, hey, don't fix their issues. And if you want to play with me, the door is always open. If you want to play with me, the door is always open. And I'm going to play within the context of what I'm doing. I'm going to play this way. Now, you want to play with me, I'm playing this way. I really am doing that. There is no off switch. Well, when are you not? There is none. There is no, I'm not planning to have an off switch. There will be an off switch.
Right.
There will be an off, and I'm not so sure about that. So I'm not readily agreeing to that. But, I have heard that there will be an off switch. Okay, all right. That's what I'm sharing, and I'm shutting up.
Well, I can relate to everything that you have said. What you said about not fixing people's issues and then you're trying to do something different, for people or whatever, and you end up being the bad guy. Because what you're working on, the project, the thing that you have made your project isn't a concern for them. And so you look like the bad guy and you end up being frustrated. But that reminds me, when we were doing our series last year, and I shared about my brother and my concern for his health and others, and here I am pushing my ideas and my objectives of better health, and they are not very much concerned about it. And so here I am, I done made something, and I'm the one, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated over their issue, and it's not even an issue for them, but it's really my issue. And when I let that go and realized, what was happening, then I was able to take responsibility for what was important to me and let them be who they are and just love them for who they are, where they are, and know that it has nothing at all to do with me.
Oh God!
And just being in
ding,
total
ding,
acceptance.
ding.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
You know,
Oh
talk
God!
about there being a lot more air in the room for us to breathe, because, you know, it gets tight in a room. You know, the air gets real thin when you have these kind of things hanging over you. And then afterwards, you know, and since then, that release, there's the conversations are more open on everything, and even regarding health and diet and lifestyle. And the air, I mean, it's not thick. There's a lightness in the room that we can all appreciate.
Oh, wow. You know, what I get present to, just you and that sharing, when there's no thing, what's actually available and present is simply your love for that person. Because there's nothing else there.
Nothing else there.
You know, there's nothing else there but your. Now, things arise, you know, because if your love is there, things arise, you know, like curiosity, like a natural openness, like, you know, but like I said, we got some stuff coming up tonight, and I see we're already in it. Diva, Nakia, is our technology working with Diva Nakia?
Diva Nakia.
She may be on stealth mode. Okay, okay, she must be back in stealth mode. So let's carry on.
Let's carry on. Okay. So, Ronnie B, let's start our first inquiry by creating integrity as workability, telling the truth.
Wow. Okay. Telling the truth, you know, interesting subject in an era where truth has, some people have kind of had, what is the truth? Is it fake truth or real truth? Well, we're going to have a good conversation tonight. Creating integrity is workability, telling the truth. Before we start, I'm going to read this passage to frame the context for the work we're doing. Integrity. Acting with integrity brings me peace. At times, I may hesitate to make decisions. I may struggle with choices about relationships and work-life balance. Or I may worry if I am spending my money wisely. Staying in touch with truth gives me confidence. Before I choose what to do, I listen to my inner guidance. I align my thoughts with what is upright, honest, and sincere. As I speak and act with integrity, I experience balance in my mind, body, and soul. Every aspect of my life aligns in peaceful harmony. Integrity is part of my true identity. I exhibit ease and grace when asked to make a decision. My health improves. My self-esteem increases, and I live courageously. Wow. I just, these two parts really stand out to me at the end. I exhibit ease and grace when asked to make a decision. My health improves. My self-esteem increases, and I live courageously. Wow. You know, many of us struggle to make a decision. We do not have ease and grace. And what this is saying is that with integrity, ease and grace. Without integrity, struggle. What's up with that? Today we're having an inquiry for integrity, and we are framing the context in a specific way that creates power, freedom, and ease. When we say integrity, what is already present in your listening? Are you present to right or wrong? Are you present to morality? Are you present to burden, shame, blame, or guilt? Are you present to what others should or should not be doing? Just take a minute and get present to whatever emotions, feelings, or thoughts you have when you hear integrity. Whatever you are present to is perfect. There is no right and wrong in this inquiry. Whatever you are present to is perfect. There is no right and wrong in this inquiry. Now, we would like you to look at integrity through this context or distinction. Integrity is the state of being whole and complete, honoring one's word as oneself. If you notice, there's no explicit or implicit blame, shame, or guilt. There's no right, wrong, or fault. Given this distinction of integrity, what is present? What is present? Now, take a few minutes to get present to this distinction while the team and I share what we're present to in this distinction. And I'm going to just say it one more time. I'm going to say it slowly. Integrity is the state of being whole and complete, honoring one's word as one's self. Okay, so just get present to that and just see what comes up. Given this distinction of integrity, what is present? And Diva, Nakia, do we still have you back on? Do we have you back from stealth mode? Okay, all right. We checked in with Diva and Nakia. Diva, Nikki, what's present for you, given this distinction of or context for integrity?
What is present to me is being true to oneself and honoring one's word in the truth. Honoring one's word in the truth of who you are, and your capabilities, and being held and allowing yourself to be held accountable and responsible for that and to that. That is what is present to me.
Okay, I get present to freedom, because and I get present to self-expression.
I love that.
And I want and to clarify that more, I don't mean being able to say what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because a lot of us, we have no problem with saying what we want to say, and we have no self-expression. Because
we have no problem.
Yeah, we have no problem saying what we want to say, because we collapse that with full self-expression. Full self-expression is when you're able to act on what you desire as you choose. Free from concerns of opinions. Yeah, see, some people, we're real good at jaw-jacking and have no power. We can say it, no power. And, okay, but I love that. When we look at integrity as a source of power, freedom, and ease, we see integrity as workability. Workability may align with a spiritual or moral view, and it is distinct and separate. So just to make that clear, whatever faith you practice or don't practice, what we're saying here is not in a spiritual or moral view, even though it might just align with that. But that's not actually where we're coming from. If you've ever had a bicycle, you know the wheel has spokes. If any of the spokes are broken or out of alignment, the bike loses integrity. It does not work as it was designed. You know, if enough spokes come out, you got a wheel, but you're riding all wobbly and stuff. A submarine could travel underwater for months at a time without sinking because it has structural integrity. It's working the way it was designed. Do you think that if there's a leak in a submarine, that's a minor issue?
Right.
You know, it's just a little leak. Oh, yeah. At so many, feet under the ocean. Right. No, that's a big deal. Now, when we are designing our futures from the future and creating SMRs, specific measurable results, the catalyst that creates velocity and fulfillment is integrity. Now, the first part of our distinction for integrity is the state of being whole and complete. Whole and complete simply means missing no parts. When we operate from integrity, we are in a state of being whole and complete. We have all power that has been given to us as a divine creation are available. They're there. They're not blocked. We're able to move and operate the levers that we have already been given. Okay, if a bicycle or submarine is missing any parts, it is still a bicycle or submarine, but it does not work as designed. Thus, it loses power. So we're still us, but the access to our full power that we've been gifted is not fully available. We're not working the way we were designed as children of a divine creator. You know there's something wrong with that picture. When we're not working the way we were designed, Now, as human beings, when persistent complaints, superstitions, or the occurring world filter our view of reality, the effect is a loss of integrity. It costs our power, freedom, and full self-expression. We are not as effective. We're not. Now, let's look at the second part, okay? We're going to look at the second part. Honoring one's word as oneself. Honoring one's word as oneself. Your experience of life lives in your conversations. Your experience of yourself lives in your conversations for and about yourself. Ultimately, our conversations for and about ourselves, whether it is positive or negative, is the degree we know ourselves as being our word. Ultimately, our conversations for and about ourselves, whether it is positive or negative, is the degree we know ourselves as being our word. Now, if you don't get that, I'm going to bring just a little bit of clarity. Okay? If some of you are thinking that you don't have conversations about yourselves, yes, you do. You have. If there's one person that you have conversations about more than anybody else, it's you. Believe me. Your number one priority, I don't care how generous you are, humbled, your number one priority is you. As far as what is right, wrong, or up with you. Now, just to give you an example, I go to my family reunion. We had a banquet, and relatives I haven't seen in years are there. And before I get there, I'm looking at every part of my body that is not perfect. And I don't know about you, but I found more than two. And I found more than two, And but I'm not a diva, so I just got to deal with it. And part of that is that my parents are there. And the one thing, my father's the kind of guy who he wants you to look good. That's part of, who he is and how he likes to say, my children are doing well, they look good, Now, we're going to have a subject on pretenses, but I'm not going to give you the one there. But I'm there, and I see everybody all loving and everything, and my father says, son, I really love your shoes. So I'm like, oh, hey, Dad, hey. Dad was proud of had some nice shoes. So I text my mother this morning. I'm going, well, Dad said he liked the shoes. How did you like the jacket? And my mother texted me back, when you came into the room, it was like a glow. And everywhere you went, the room lit up. You killed it. Now, I go from, well, they're going to blah, to, I was looking pretty good. Well, I did notice a couple of cuties over there was checking me out. All of a sudden, my whole world changed. The conversations went from, because I'm waiting for this orange, and he bald-headed and he look 100. And, I'm getting all this, now the good feedback come in, my whole world about me. I'm just all, Okay, but let me go on. Okay, but I digressed. A little good news. I got some good news, but I got some bad news. Nikki, good news, bad news. Okay.
Okay.
Think they can handle it?
I don't know. Prosperous Living speaking some kind of hard.
Okay,
but they can handle it. They can handle it.
You got faith in it. We got the Empress of Faith, so we got to have faith in it. The bad news. Your integrity is always going out no matter how hard you try or how good you are. Inevitably, you will break a promise or not carry through on something you were supposed to do. It's going to happen. The good news, restoring integrity is always available and is the source of breakthroughs. Most of us try to avoid integrity issues and those pesky, persistent complaints. Filters in our listening or superstitions are part of the insidious mechanism designed to keep us from addressing those issues powerfully. So we try to avoid the integrity issues. And those pesky, persistent complaints, filters in our listening or superstitions are part of the insidious mechanism designed to keep us from addressing those issues powerfully. If you ever want to know where the devil lie in what I just said to you, you will find the devil in those details. Now, the universe acts on our words, and others around us act on our words, which is a lot of power. Now, I want you to get this clearly. The universe acts on our words, and others around us act on our words, which is a lot of power. Walk down the street and say, back off, and see don't somebody back off. See if they don't.
Right.
Yeah, they will. Or you walk down the street and you say, duck. People duck. No, your words have power. Honoring our word goes beyond merely keeping our promises. It is how we are being when we fail to keep a promise and being responsible for the world we are creating with our words. Imagine if you kept your word and all your promises when it comes to producing results with velocity. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes, it would be.
Yeah, well, actually, probably not, because you would stop being and become a human doing, which would actually have no integrity. So here's the thing. You could always keep your word and your promises if they're small enough. And even though you would be keeping your word and your promises, because they were small enough for you to always keep them, then you are not doing anything to grow yourself as a human being. So basically, you're stuck in a rut. You know, if you ever want to know, if you ever feel like you're stuck in a rut, it's because you're not expanding. And if you're not expanding, you're contracting. Expand or contract. And so some of you, oh, by the way, another, Nikki, you know what a rut really is?
What's that?
It's an open-ended grave.
Oh.
They just haven't thrown the dirt on top of you, but that's all you're living. So when we avoid, making promises, when we only make promises we absolutely know that we can handle, we're cheating ourselves and we're cheating everyone else. Now, when you make a promise and fail to keep your promise, the action needed is simply what? Communication. Make a new promise. When you make a promise and you find you will not be able to keep your promise, the action needed is simply communicate. Communicate you will not be keeping your word and make a new promise. When you make a promise and you realize you simply are not going to keep that promise, guess what? Guess what the action is? Simply communicate, I am revoking the promise I made to you. Now, there will be consequences in each scenario, and honoring your word gives you power, freedom, and ease in dealing with the consequences. That's when the power comes into play. When, wow, my word, and I need to be honest and straight. And hey, Jerry, I promised I would go on the trip, which I'm not going to do that. Mary, I said that I would work on this project that you got for the community. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, and I will deal with the consequences. And that doesn't necessarily mean that now I get beat up or I get a bad look or whatever. But now you're dealing with it with power for whatever the response is. Now there's a powerful saying: the bigger the breakdown, the bigger the breakthrough. See, if you have a little bitty peep squeak little breakdown, oh, this ain't work, oh, that ain't work, oh, that ain't, well, you're not playing big enough. When you play big, you may fail. You may hit that wall, and you will inevitably hit breakdowns. But the beauty of those is that you get to see where the power needs to be built, and you can go to work. Now, breakdowns are the result of integrity issues and not addressing them. When the little warning light comes on in your car and 3 weeks later the car stops working, that is a breakdown. And the cause of the breakdown was weeks before it happened. Breakdowns are predictable if you're in reality. If you're in reality, you're going, you know what? That wall is coming up. It is not, well, the wall might come up. No, I see the wall. And I see, you know what, I see that wall. Well, if I wait, the wall ain't going away. You have the breakdown, you get your car fixed, and it runs even better than before, or you decide it's time to get a new car. Now, that, and that's what happened. Oh, but see, whenever when you look back and you see that the warning lights were on 3 weeks earlier, then the question, and why it's an integrity issue, is that what had you not address it? What were you getting out of letting that blinking light go on until it finally did break down before? In other words, it's like before the universe made you get it fixed. What was there? And people like that, or you may have done that, you might resemble it, where the little light is on, and whatever the excuse is, well, I don't have the money to get it fixed. Okay, so having a car that's working right is outweighing handling what you need to get it fixed. Notice what I said, handling that. Now, when you make bold promises or requests, you will inevitably have breakdowns, and they will be the source of huge, unimaginable breakthroughs. Now, we're just going to do a little bit of sharing, just a little bit, because I ran long on what you hear so far in the inquiry. Diva, Nikki, what do you hear so far in this inquiry?
What I hear is, honestly, it's like just keep it simple, and better to kind of along the lines of something that we often say of promise small and then over deliver.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like just take care of things, like don't put anything off that you don't have to. And hey, you know what? Don't do stuff where don't make excuses. As much as possible, just don't make excuses.
the no excuse zone. That's a good. Now, one thing I want to say though is that the first part, and I've heard this before, where it's promise small and over deliver. Sort of like as a technique, and nothing against or for that technique, but I'll say like within this conversation, that's actually an integrity issue. Yeah, because what it allows for is for you to avoid being responsible for what you can deliver and what you will deliver. And when you're clear what you will deliver, and when you're clear on this is what I will deliver, then there's no over-promising, there's no under-promising. It's just, hey, that's what your word said that's what you deliver, and that's what the expectation is. Now, most of us so undervalue what we do. We feel, and see this again. We got some more inquiring stuff, but we feel like we have to manipulate the system. And what are we talking about? Making bold promises or requests. See, when you operate in a high state of integrity, most of the time you're failing. Most of the time you are breaking your promises. You are. That's how you know that you're actually doing the work. And for the value that I put it like this: your value in failure is greater than many people's success. Because they went small and over-delivered. which was still less than they can, actually create. So now we're going to start. We got a lot. Like I said, we got 3 more sessions. We will be getting there. Now we're going to start the process of creating the space for workability with an exercise. And but let me check in. Do we have Diva Nakia? Is she here to say something about that?
I am here, and I am listening in. I'm listening, and I'm loving it. I just want you to know that.
Okay, and all right. Anything you'd like to share about the last segment?
The distinctions as far as the integrity is concerned, and one of the points where you were speaking of self-expression, Ronnie, that is exactly, being fully self-expressed is exactly what I wanted to share. I was going to share, but you hit it right on point, which is something that I have been learning more and more about recently, in recent months. And integrity is so important when you're being fully self-expressed. As far as the last topic, promising, shortchanging yourself is not something that you want to do. Because like you were saying, Ronnie, you're playing it too safe and having breakdowns and breakthroughs. Those little breakdowns that you're having, that we have as individuals, if you're not having major breakdowns because there's something really major going on, which there are only just a few breakdowns, major breakdowns anyway, that you'll experience in a lifetime, and that's something that you have to learn and understand, which occurs in a different place. However, the integrity of living freely, openly, and honestly with yourself, us judging ourselves is a constant, ongoing, forever up and down battle. However, when we acknowledge our records and our stories and that we're going into our act, we can pull ourselves back and straighten our shoulders and walk and face the challenges that are in front of us. It's awesome to want to play it safe. However, you limit yourself in so much in life. And I am a prime example of the limitations that I have put on myself by playing it safe, by not wanting to look bad or seem inferior, incompetent, or unsure of myself, or like not good enough, or I'm not Miss Perfect, or I don't have it all together. I have heard it all. And it's important for us to shake that off, move away from that as we can. It always resonated one point or another, but acknowledge it and face it forward and keep walking. Don't look back. Keep walking, and things will be amazing once you really pursue your dreams and aspirations and push yourself beyond those self-imposed limitations. That's my share.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Diva Nikki, for giving us some material to work with. Now we're going to start the process. Don't y'all like starting the process of creating the space for workability? And when we got some work to do, we have an exercise. And who gives you the exercises? Diva Nikki, take it away.
All right, everybody. So come on, let's get with it. Creating integrity as workability. So our little exercise is intended to empower you in creating integrity as workability and having results with what? Velocity. We want you to create the following categories: relationships, health, spiritual, wealth. Under each category, write 3 complaints and why each is a stop or barrier for you in producing results. If there is a person who impacts the complaint, write their name. Now, we're going to give you a couple of minutes to work on your list. We're working on our own list and with you, and while we share what we see so far in the exercises. Next, okay, create 2 columns. One labeled lie and the other labeled the truth. Pick an item from your list, and under the column labeled lie, write your complaint, including any people involved. And ask yourself, how long have you allowed this lie to run the show? When did you first start telling the lie, and why did you do it? Who do you share the lie with? Are they empowering or disempowering the lie? I know some of y'all are like, what lie? Is the lie costing your productivity in this area? What are your payoffs for keeping the lie in place? Now, while you're working on that, let me check in with the team.
There are a lot of people who are probably right now, they're like you said, what lie? What lie? Your persistent complaints and your superstitions are lies. They're not the truth. Okay? They're not the truth. And because the reason is that they're designed so that you can, the big hint, avoid responsibility. So that persistent complaint, that superstition, mom always says blah, 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 whatever that is, and they may say it, but whatever the issue, the real issue is a perpetration, is a lie that you've been telling yourself so that you can avoid the responsibility of dealing with whatever the issue is. Have you, Diva Nikki, have you ever had someone who complained about something, and no matter what solution you offered, they had a problem with the solution?
Yes, I'm sure.
Yep.
Can't pinpoint it right now, but I'm pretty sure I have.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where someone was, they'd steadily complain, and you go, well, why don't you, drink some water, or why don't you do, and if you mention it, they got okay, but I'll put it like this: I ran into that, where no matter what solution you give them for the issue, they got a problem with that solution, where they can't take it. Well, what it is that they'd rather have the problem, and they lie about it, because they lie like they want the problem fixed. A woman complained for 20 years that her husband was a drunk and an alcoholic, and she just went to church Sunday and ragged on him every Sunday, my husband, and, I'm doing, Lord, help me, blah, blah, blah. One day he gave up drinking. He started going to church regularly. He started participating. She divorced him. People rather have the lie. Now, okay, and now that we discussed the hint, I can carry on.
So now that you acknowledge the lie and the truth, no, I'm sorry.
They had a next step.
They did have a next step. I completely skipped over the next step. So next, right under the column, label the truth. Why the issue is a lie. Who would you need to be? Who would you need to be? And what would you need to own to empower yourself in dealing with the lie? And do you see where the lie is an integrity issue? You can't be whole and complete with a big gaping hole in your power, now can you? So while you're working on that, let me check in again with the team.
Because of time, I'm going to say I'm going to go ahead and have to let them think about it on this one.
Okay. So now that you acknowledge the lie and the truth, what will you do and by when? Act with velocity. Next session, Creating Integrity and Workability Part 2. We will continue the conversation on the other side of the break with from vague to specific supercharging results. The time is 6:01. Please return at 6:07, and we'll continue then on the other side of the break.
Add your courage. Your life benefits greatly from the courage of those who have gone before you. Add your own courage to the legacy and expand those benefits. Courage is not being free of all fear. Courage happens when you free yourself to act in spite of doubts and fears. Courage knows there is no guarantee of success and proceeds anyway. Courage knows there will be inconvenience, pain, risk, and disappointment. And yet, courage also knows the glory of the summit is worth the difficulty of the climb. The gain of each advance is worth the strain of making the effort. Courage is yours the moment you decide to live it. Reach deep inside. Feel the insatiable need to make a difference. And courage springs to life in you. Life is carried forward each day, every millennia with courage. Let the courage and its rewards flow freely, generously, passionately through you.
Welcome back. We are returning from the break. We'll be starting up in just a moment. And when we start, you know who we have? We have Diva Nikki from Vague to Specific. Diva Nikki, over to you.
All right. From vague to specific, supercharging results, one of my favorite things to do. So here we go. When we are being vague about our desires or goals, it is to avoid being held accountable for the results. Now, we touched on that just a little bit a few minutes ago. So we want to be right, so we are vague to avoid being wrong. Problem is, being vague inherently creates bad results. A la vicious cycle. It may seem like we're being specific, but we're not. And that allows for the creation of a world that has it occur that we are victims at the mercy of the world out there. When we are vague and we allow others to be vague, it creates an occurring world of lack, want, fear, confusion, and even mistrust. Simple tasks become hard. Molehills become mountains. So let's review the Divas' first step for having results with velocity, the framework for producing specific, measurable results. The result is finite, absolute. Example, meet the man or woman of my dreams. That is vague. Be in a committed, romantic relationship. That is specific. Finite. The result is measurable. Here we go. I am going to do more to let people know I am open to dating. That is vague.
Do you know somebody like that? Carry on.
I am going to join 5 credible dating sites. That is specific.
No, actually, there was a line above that. Sorry about that. I am sure my princess will show up.
I am going to do more to let people know I'm open to dating. That is vague and not measurable. I'm going to join 5 credible dating sites. That is specific and that is measurable. The results have a time limit by when. So, example, I am sure my princess will show up. That's vague. I'm going to join 5 credible dating sites by Monday, complete my profile by Tuesday, and start searching by Wednesday. I will go on 4 dates each month. By September, I will choose my prince or princess. Wow. Now that is specific and measurable.
Diva Nikki, before you go, and I do apologize for stepping on you, but something that if you just kind of read it, okay, because it's up here on the screen. I'm going to meet the man or woman of my dreams. I'm going to do more to let people know I'm open to dating. I am sure my princess will show up. Now that is not reality. You notice that? Now it could be romantic. Oh, but we don't. Romantic and reality may not necessarily be in the same conversation.
Absolutely.
And, right. As far as producing the result. Now, the result may end up being I met the man or woman of my dreams. I started letting people know I was open to dating, and my princess showed up. Now, that could happen. That would be the interpretation. See, that would be the interpretation or the occurring world of what happened. Okay. Okay. I will be in a committed romantic relationship. I'm going to join 5 credible dating sites by Monday, complete my profile by Tuesday, and start searching by Wednesday. I will go on dates, on 4 dates each month. By September, I will choose my princess. Now, which one would you say is going to happen? or even if let's say the specific measurable fails, there would have been progress. So maybe it's October instead of September.
Right.
But you could actually make the first one. You can't make any progress. Okay, let me let you continue with the presentation here.
So the degree you specify your desires is the degree the universe works with velocity for your desires and expectations to be fulfilled. Over the last week, Nakia used this framework in having her business Facebook page produce some remarkable results. Nakia, any breakthroughs or breakdowns you would like to share? Okay, she might still be in stealth mode, so...
Okay,
Ronnie,
all right.
Ronnie B, I'm sorry?
Oh, I said carry on.
So I know you wanted to discuss a couple of pitfalls to look out for when you first start creating results with velocity. So your assignment for this week is to choose
I am going to actually discuss the couple of pitfalls.
Okay, let's discuss the pitfalls.
Okay. All right, now this week I have three pitfalls when you first starting producing results with velocity. The first one is if you're producing results with velocity right away, you'll get comfortable and you'll take your foot off the gas. Whatever you were doing to create that result, you have to not only keep doing it, you may find that you're going to have to add to it. Okay? But we'll get comfortable and take the foot off the gas. The second thing is we got great results right out the gates, thinking it's easy. Or now I don't have to worry about it. That's a big pitfall. Now, the third one for some folks is owning the results. And what I mean by that is that there are team results, there are group results, there are individual results. When you're the person who created the game, it's all about the results that you said that you were using to measure the game, the specific measurable result. Now, it may have took a team, a group, a community to fulfill on that result being fulfilled, and you have to own that you created the result. Whether the result was a failure, a massive success. And I'm not talking about ego. Owning your power. When you own the results, then you can duplicate what you did. See, if you don't own the results, then it was something out of your control that did it. So sometimes I have some people of faith who, they make a distinction between praising God for a blessing and saying it was God's fault, good or bad, because then that gets them off the hook for their role in the matter. A loving divine father, mother wants their children to produce. You don't have kids and, I want to do your life for you. No, you want them to do their life. And if they need you, whatever, be there for them. But you want them to live. So own your, hey, mom, dad, universe. I look what I did with the blessing you gave me. You want to own your results. And back to you, Diva Nikki. The Diva Nikki, did we get you back?
I am here, and that resonated with me. That was awesome. I'm such in tune and inspired by the mere conversation of mom, dad, universe. Look what I've done, taking ownership and responsibility for the results. At the end of the day, no matter who all was involved, no matter how many people you had to get within your community, outside of your community, in order to get from one point to the next, at the end of the day, the idea, the mission, the vision was originated by self. And the end result was the end result. Whether you were diligent or whether you were lax, whatever the success or the failures were, you have to own it, acknowledge it, accept it. And if you're going to try it again because it did not work out, then simply revisit the experience and opportunities and make some changes. If it was a success, just, acknowledge yourself for it. Just, it's not being conceited or overbearing or boasting or bragging. It's just acknowledging self for you putting your foot down and taking action. And wow, I get that.
All right. We use and I know that I'm saying it deliberately this way, we use our persistent complaints and superstitions so we won't own the power that we have. And we don't want to own the power that we have because we'd have to be responsible for the blessings we've been given.
Absolutely, yes.
Have to be responsible, and we want to be like children, where no, I don't want to be responsible for my power. I just want to use it. And then it becomes an integrity issue. All right, Diva Nikki, let you continue on.
So, your assignment, everyone, for this week is for you to choose from something from your list. Get busy and create a result that will demonstrate your power in producing results with velocity. Use the framework. In our final segment, we are joined by Diva Nikia Franklin for the Divine Mind Prosperity Blaster. Are we going to take a 5-minute break, Ronnie?
Yep.
We're taking a 5-minute break. The time is now 6:20. Please return at 6:25 for Diva Nikia.
Your privilege. Consider it your privilege to be living this day. Consider it your privilege to be where you are, doing all you are doing. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are strong enough to make something valuable from this time and place. Consider it your privilege to be able to take action. Exercise that privilege, moving your life and your whole world forward. Do not argue in favor of your limitation. Do not argue that unfairness and injustice have rendered you helpless. Instead, consider it your privilege to demonstrate how you can prosper no matter what pushes against you. Consider it your privilege to dig deep and activate new strength, new skill, new power. Put yourself in the best possible position for dealing with every challenge, every opportunity, every possibility. Consider it your privilege and keep putting that privilege to you.
Saw you today, and I know you saw me in our old cafe up on Route Saint Denis, smoking the same Lucky Strike cigarette. It ain't easy to quit. You watch me order my cafe, then like before, let me walk away. How many chances are we gonna get in this game of roulette? Days like today, everything changes. Rose up and play in the summer heat. Days like today, nothing is shameless. We're totally blameless. It's meant to be, baby, say la vie. Maybe I'm dreaming, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe at home someone's calling me baby. Simple things are so hard to admit. You're trying to drop it, you just can't forget. Days like today, everything changes. Rose up and play in the summer heat. Days like today, nothing is changing. We're totally blameless. It's meant to be, baby, la vie. Oh, say la vie. Uptown, downtown, everybody's saying it. Uptown, downtown, everybody's saying it. Uptown, downtown, everybody's saying it. Trying to, just forget it. Days like today, everything changes. Goes up and play in the summer heat. Days like today, nothing is shameless. We go totally blameless. There is meant to be. Oh, say la vie. Oh, say la vie. Days like today, nothing is shameless. We go totally blameless. There is meant to be. Say la vie.
Alyssa Bell, an old grumpy legend with Say La Vie. And we're moving on to the final segment of our webinar tonight with the Divine Mind Prosperity Blaster. And we have the one and only Empress of Faith herself, appointed time for you, Diva Nakia.
Well, hey, say la vie, I was feeling that. All right, so welcome back. I am Nakia. I have a great Divine Mind Prosperity Blaster for you this week. The infiniteness of God flows to me and through me. If left undisturbed, a stream brings a perennial flow of fresh water along its way. Likewise, a free-flowing stream of divine consciousness freshens and revitalizes me. With this awareness, new opportunities are revealed to me. There is no limit to the abundance of God that flows to me, through me, flows to me, and through me. So I do not construct barriers to my good by denying what is possible. It is up to me to keep that free flow of God's goodness moving. As I keep this truth in mind and in heart, I am participating in the free flow of prosperity that blesses me and those I interact with, both near and for. The infinite goodness of God flows to me and through me. To me and through me. So let's get to work by creating the following.
But before we get to work, just that the infinite goodness of God flows to me and through me.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's almost for me, it's like it's almost in fact, you know, to really own that. You know, because you know, you think about that statement, the infinite goodness of God flows to me and through me. You know, not some of God's goodness flows to me and through me.
All of it.
You know, not a little bit of God's goodness flows to me and through me. Not when I behave, the goodness of God flows to me and through me. The infinite goodness of God flows to me and through me. So it's like, I you know, what comes up for me is like, I don't even want to own that much. You know, like, God, just give me, you know, you just give me a little, I'm all right, I ain't selfish. You have to give me infinite goodness, God. You know, I'm not, I ain't greedy. You know, you know, but but the lie is like, I don't want that power. I don't want the infinite goodness of God to flow through me. That's a lie.
That is.
Now I may be scared.
Mhm.
You know, because it's like, you know, somebody give you a race car, man, you know, and you've been, you know, kind of driving a hoopty or something, and well, now here's this race car. You know, you get a little like, whoa, man, you know, it's got power. It's, you know, like, you know, so, but I just didn't want to step over that. That was so powerful. The infinite goodness of God flows to me and through me. Okay.
And that's why I giggled, because I'm trying to hold myself back with restraint, because I'm so there in that moment. So absolutely. So, excuse me, create the following categories: relationships, health, spiritual, and wealth. Now, you know how we do it. Give yourself space. Under each category, write 3 situations where you feel stuck. Under each situation, so the first part is under each category, write 3 situations where you feel stuck. Then under those 3 situations, write what there is about the situation that makes you look bad, or has you to look guilty. Yeah. So it's one of us, look bad or looking guilty. Come on now. So, question is there a hidden lie, or what's the truth?
Oh, it's not a or.
Yeah.
There is a hidden lie. There is a hidden lie. Now, what's the truth? There is a hidden lie. So we'll help you out on that one. There is a hidden lie. You just find it.
That's right. So under each situation, write how much suffering you are willing to tolerate before you will get in action, and no matter how bad or guilty it may look, free yourself from its grip, okay? Just completely release yourself from that captivity, those chains, that breakdown, those barriers, those walls, that 4x4 foot cell. Release yourself. Use the Divas framework for producing results with velocity and get to work. It's time out. We need to get up and take action. So, team, is there anything you would like to share, Ronnie B? We know you always going to share.
We're that Diva Nikki.
All right, then. Ladies first, beautiful queens first. Come on, Nikki, my girl.
Well, sharing. A lot has opened up, for me. This actually was a lot of confirmation for me for some things that I actually did on last week and going forward even to this week coming. So, ironically, in our example earlier, we gave examples of dating. Well, I decided this past week from our last session that I was going to initiate some conversations with a few people, and then I was going to let some things go because I felt like in my own truth that some things were not growing or developing in a way with other areas of my life, and therefore could be a hindrance or a distraction, and I wanted to let them go.
I get that. Wow.
Well,
that is all. That is all.
Sister Nikki. What I love about what you just shared was that this work starts getting real and personal. It gets real. And what you would have tolerated 6 months ago, you ain't tolerating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're not coming from a place of making anybody wrong for who they are or for what they're up to. It's just what, your level of tolerance for not having life go the way you say it's coming up, and
right.
So you are in the course.
Absolutely, yeah.
You are right where you are in the course, deep. And we got 3 more sessions. Diva Nikki, back to you. Well, I'm sorry. Anything else, Diva Nikki?
No, that is it for my share, because that in of itself, along with, me conquering the treadmill and stuff, that was like, enough. We'll share some more later.
All right, okay. Watch this space.
Okay. Well, for the sake of time, Ronnie B., do you mind me proceeding forward, and we'll let you share next time?
Oh, yeah, I thought I shared. Go ahead, go for it.
Well, you did share. However,
okay, right.
Okay. So, keep a daily log or post daily on Facebook any results or insights, and please share with the Prosperous Divas. So, okay, I need y'all to come back for the next session. Our next session is Sunday, July 16th, so check out our website for registration and details, or check us out on Facebook because we always have information there. Diva Nikki, please share how people may contact you at any event you want people to join you at.
You guys can connect with me on Facebook at Narcissist Nikki Taplin. For business questions and tips, you can connect with me at my website, bizsolutions.com, and follow me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter as Miss Entrepreneur Nikki.
Awesome. Hey. Okay, so before I proceed on, I definitely want to acknowledge 3 independent groups for joining the movement. I would like to acknowledge Prison Talk. I really appreciate your patronage and presence. Prison Reform Movement, same thing. And Prison Families Talk. It is so awesome to have you all joining the movement, being present, taking action, and being a live vocal and in the know. So continue to join us, and you can always visit me at the appointed time. So the web is appointedtimeforyou.com. And like I say, join the movement. For more information on workshops and seminars, visit us at prosperousdivas.com. And tonight's Prosperous Divas are myself, the Empress of Faith, Nikia Franklin, appointedtimeforyou.com, and my girl Nikki Taplin at Biz Solutions, BIZsolutions.com. Please enjoy the selection from Shani, our beautiful, lovely, the original sunshine, princess of poetry. And remember, Prosperous Divas. Prosperity is a mindset that can be created by anyone. Peace and blessings.
Here's a little Lean from my heart into yours, the world is to hear. Love will bring us all together. Sometimes we travel light, sometimes we can't abide for destination. Seems a long way from home, but that is alright. Alright, when you get to love somebody. Spread a little good love from this baby, yeah. Alright, someone's gonna show you love someday. I'll give a little something for you. I wanna know how to have good loving. I wanna touch your heart and feel good loving. Good loving. I wanna have you and me. Got to have it. Do it hurry up, well. Good loving. Spending our lifetime trying to get ahead of life, working so hard, building castles to prove us upright. Hey, but don't you forget, we've got to live for today. Let's look around and see what you've been missing. Alright, when you get to love somebody, isn't it be so nice to love somebody? Yeah, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Show you love someday. You know that love can turn it around. Hey, good love. I wanna start to feel. For you and me, got to good loving, hey. Think I'm gonna do it like someday, someday, I see a better all I need is good loving, yeah. Give me that baby. Ooh, good loving. Ooh, yeah. Beware, babe. We've got to have it. Oh,